Hey guys, welcome to the Jesus Justice Podcast. My name is Kaylee, and I was in the middle of recording some episodes, and it just didn't feel right. They were decent episodes, all about practical ways to live justice out daily, but I think with the current climate, um, what is happening right now in the news and the world with the talks of war, I wanted to come on to actually, rather than do a whole series and record a whole series and release it out on the practicals of living out justice daily, I think I just wanted to talk more about what do we do when the news gets heavy? What do we do when there's fear surrounding certain things that come across our feed? What do we do when we're still seeing racial injustice and prejudice run rampant in our streets, in our government? How do we continue to show up in pursuing justice when this all just seems like a lot? I like to play games on my phone. I like to play video games in general, but I really like playing games on my phone. And the games I like to play in particular are idle games, where you log in to the game, you do a couple of things. Maybe you harvest some material, you plant some stuff, and then you close the app. And while the app is closed, progress is being made. So then when you log in a few hours later, you have more materials, or you have more resources, or you have things like progress is being made, and you don't have to really do anything. You can trust that while you're out of the app, things are happening. I bring that up because our God operates in the same manner. And the same way that I can trust that when I close my game, progress is going to be made, it's the same thing that I can do if I decide I'm going to close my computer or I'm going to turn off the news. I can believe that God is handling things even when we log out of social media, of our news feeds, when we decide that we're going to take a break. God is still moving. God is still working things out for his glory. And I want to address justice work for a minute, because we, as Christians especially, we know our God is a God of justice, and we know that as believers we should also have a heart for justice. But I think a lot of us in the justice space, if we're not careful, we can start out really noble and really wanting to do this work for God's glory, but it ends up being our work rather than his work. And when we make it about our work, that's when the exhaustion hits. That's when we have the mindset of, oh, well, we can't take a break because if we don't do it, who else will? And so I'm coming on today. I didn't plan this episode. I have no notes in front of me. I have my computer open, and it's literally to a text message to Jeremiah saying that I quit recording mid-episode and started a whole fresh one. I didn't plan on talking about this, but it just feels right to address that there is a heaviness going on, and it's okay to feel that heaviness, and it's okay to to feel grieved at what is happening in the world. That is okay. What we have to make sure, though, is that we understand that we still serve a God who is victorious in the end. We still serve a God that when they came to him about working and healing on the Sabbath, his answer to them was, "My God is still working, and so will I." We can sit in the truth that if we decide that this is a lot and we need to take a break and we need to rest, that we can believe and we can trust that our God is still moving, our God is still working, our God is still bringing forth justice. Because at the end of the day, this is his work. The invitation is not us to him, but rather him to us. He invites us into his good work. I think so often we have it backwards. It's like, God, I want to pursue this justice thing, so I'd really like it if you would bless it because, you are a guy of justice, and so you should be about this life. But it's like, in all reality, it's so we feel good. It's about us. We claim that we're the ones who bring forth the justice, not God. I'm afraid that somewhere in our pursuit of justice, some of us may have lost the plot. We may have forgotten that this is God's thing. We just happen to be a part of it. That this is God's plan, but he allows us to be co-authors in his work. So I guess what I'm here to say is, in your pursuit of justice, please make sure you have a rhythm of rest. How that looks to you could look different than another person listening to this. Maybe for you, that is not looking at the news after a certain time. Having a boundary that once the news starts repeating itself, turn it off. Don't get so immersed in it. Don't dwell over it. Because the news is anymore hardly is reporting facts, but it's stirring emotions. There are factual things in it, but I would encourage you to, one, not get all your information from one outlet, and then two, use discernment, be wise, listen to what they're saying, and discern and decipher what is fact and what is feeling, what is an emotional statement and what is a factual statement. We have to be able to discern the two so that we can move forward and make progress, and also to protect ourselves. Jesus constantly was pulling away and was finding solitude so he could be alone with the Father. When things were getting crazy, he brought some of his closest friends with him, but he also still stepped away to be with the Father. So if that is what you need to do, then maybe log off for a couple of days. God is still going to move. For some of us, it may be repenting. We may need to repent and ask God for forgiveness where we have taken over in our pursuits of justice. Because if for 1 second you ask the question, but if I don't do it, who will? You've lost the plot. Well, if I don't post this, then how will people know? It's okay to take a break. It's okay to admit that this is a lot. It's okay when life throws things at you to take a step back and be like, you know what? I just need a day. You know what? I just need an hour. You know what? I just need to go touch some grass and realize that everything is going to be okay. Get in your word. Read the promises of God. Remember that he, at the end, is victorious of it all. He does not look at us as problems, but as something worthy to be saved. He wants us to come alongside him in the pursuit of justice, but we cannot walk away from him in our pursuit of justice. So if your pursuit of justice is causing you to be hateful to others, if it's causing you to cause division, if it's causing you to get into internet shouting matches, I think think it's time to take a break. I think it's time to log off and just sit with God. It's okay. It's okay to disrupt the plan. It's okay to do all of these things. Because our God is still working. They're still healing. They're still moving. They're still transforming lives. We are yet a tool in all of that. We are not the ones doing anything. So let your pursuit of justice be for God's glory. Even God rested on the seventh day. It's okay if you're tired. It's okay if you're exhausted. It's okay if you just can't hear another piece of news. It's okay. We are human. And again, I find comfort in the fact that Jesus often stepped away. He would refill, he would recharge, and then he would go back out and he would pour out all that he had, and he would go retreat again and he would get refilled, and then he would come back and he would pour out, and then he would go back and get refilled. Some of us have been running on empty for a long time. It's time for us to go and get refilled. So let's do that this week. Find something in your day, in your week, where you can just sit back and get refilled. Because in our pursuit of justice, we do want to continue showing up. I think that that's very important. That's the episode I was recording, and I stopped and I said, you know what? We're gonna put this one out first. We have to just believe that if we take a step back, God's still gonna move. We're so small in the grand scheme of it all. We're just a blip on the timeline of eternity. God knew what was going down before you were born, while you are on this earth, and he knows what's going to be going on afterwards. So let us be at peace knowing that we serve such a good God that he allows us to rest. So again, I don't know what that looks like for you. Maybe it's an extra 10 minutes sitting in your driveway before you go in. Maybe it's getting to work 30 minutes early and sitting in your car and just breathing and praying. Maybe for some of it's just logging off the internet. Give your thumbs a break. Whatever it is, just be encouraged that you're not crazy. This is a lot. This work is hard. But we serve a God that is good. He's so good that he doesn't only encourage us to rest, he commands it. So let's make sure that we're being obedient to him in all that we do, we say, and we think. Have a good week, guys.